say hello to our final runner for tonight, Radicoon. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to TUNIC. My name's Radicoon, or Rad for short. We'll be running the true ending category tonight, which is actually pretty easy to explain. We just beat the game as fast as we can, and we collect all the pages. If you've played this game before, you know they're scattered all over the world, so we do get to visit quite a bit of the game, but that's kind of your last spoiler warning as well. We're not going to explain a ton of the secrets, but we are going to visit a lot more of the game than like an any % run would. So if you want to remain spoiler free, this is your last warning. But with me tonight, I have two wonderful friends and members of the TUNIC community on commentary. Can y'all introduce yourselves, please?
Hello, I am
Go ahead.
Glacia. I am one of the runners and routers of this game. Also here.
I guess it's my turn. What's up?
It's you.
What's up, everybody? I am SilentDestroyer. I also run this game quite extensively, and I also currently have the world record for the trending category that you're about to see, so gonna do my best to help explain some of the cool stuff that we're about to do. So, Rad, take it away. Also,
Okay.
Yeah.
The last thing I'll say before we get started is this run, just like most of the categories in TUNIC, are pretty tight. They're pretty difficult. This is going to have a lot of tricks in it that if they go wrong, we're going to have to either restore from backup save or, kind of retry from our last save, which could be a big time loss. So it's a pretty sweaty run, but we'll try our best to kind of showcase, how this is supposed to work, but that's just kind of warning. We may have to fall back to a backup save in some cases. If you saw the recent GDQ run, you can see there are a lot of things that can go wrong despite the runner's best efforts, so we'll try our best. What color fox will we be running tonight?
Let me check that real quick. One quick refresh, and pink has won with $785.22.
Okay. Well, we preloaded that. We're gonna load a save. You can see I have some backup saves here, but we have a save with nothing, no money, no pages, and no time. The only thing we've done to this save is add our custom colors. So I guess I'm ready for a countdown.
I guess I'm doing it. Let us go. Final run of the marathon in 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, Silent, take it away.
all right. Rad, can you screen share? Sorry, I hate to do this.
That's true. Give me 1 second, folks.
Oh, yeah, this gives me enough time to do the elevator pitch that has become tradition whenever this game is showed off. If you are not familiar with TUNIC, TUNIC is an isometric action-adventure game about a tiny fox in a big world where you explore the wilderness, fight monsters, and find secrets. I was required to say that, so starting off the run, and it's just running. The route starts off pretty much the same as every other category in this game. We're going to see a lot of those aforementioned secrets right off the bat. He's going to be putting in a lot of secret codes to get some free items and spawn in some chests that we need for a bit later on. So it's going to be a lot going on. It's going to be kind of hard to keep up with.
Silent.
Yeah.
You said you use Chrome?
Yeah.
That's the browser you use?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I use Firefox. Anyway, we're going to go grab an any % chest real quick. This is some firecrackers we'd normally grab a different way in any %, but they are really convenient either way. You probably didn't find them in your casual run, but they are pretty cool for us. Anyway, I'll hand it back to y'all for now.
I'm excited to get to listen to this run via the stream video because the first time I saw a true ending run for this, obviously with the commentary happening, I couldn't really hear the music, and so getting to hear the vibes of this game in full force is really exciting for me.
Yeah, so like was mentioned, this is a true ending run, which is slightly different from any % in that we're going to be gathering all of the instruction manual pages. You can see we're walking past one up there that we'll be back to very later. There is 28 in all of them, and so we're going to have to go jump through some special hoops to collect all of them in a timely fashion. But if you've watched any percent, what's coming up next might be familiar. The first thing we're going to do is head to this area called Ruined Atoll and head towards Grapple, because in any category in this game, it is just the most powerful item possible.
Yeah, the grapple really opens up basically everywhere else that we have to go in the run. That first minute of the run might not have looked like a lot, but he was typing away on the keyboard, entering in so many codes to spawn in so much stuff. We're going to come back for basically all of that later. It would be kind of slow if we had waited to pick it all up at once. So we'll be coming back for that later. We do kind of have another big skip coming up to get the grapple very shortly. We're going to go into Frog's domain, and we're basically just going to skip the entire dungeon.
Did you guys know that all of those beetles that he actually just passed by, they're not considered insects because they were intended to be in the game, so they're features, not bugs.
Excellent. Did not know that. It's good. It's good to know.
Getting the lore dropped on us. That frog that we just passed is named Sam. It's important to know.
Yep.
Sam's trying his hardest.
Yeah,
He's
this
doing
is
his best.
the entrance to Frog's Domain, and there's a whole mini gauntlet that you're supposed to run to. It's kind of a optional stealth area, but we're just going to throw dynamite down there to get people's attention and just immediately get pulled down to the very end in seconds. Once we have that, that's really all we needed from here, so we're just going to instantly die and leave.
Yeah, so the first time that you die in this game, it tries to force you into this kind of like a story cutscene area. The menu, you can't really use like the pause menu or the inventory screen, but for whatever reason, if you have some items equipped, you can actually still use them. So are you going to throw another bomb to death warp out of the death warp cutscene? It's kind of like Deathception almost. So we're making our way to Dark Tomb, which, as the name implies, is dark. You're supposed to have a lantern to see, but we don't really need it. We're just coming in here for an item called the Orange Pale Ring, where when we equip it, if we have 20% HP or less, it's going to give us double damage. So it's going to be pretty critical for a couple fights later on.
Yeah, I was too afraid to trigger this without Lantern in my any percent run in the spring marathon, and now it's just kind of table stakes for the game. So, you know, well wishes are appreciated, but the game has evolved a little bit. Oh, did I fall off? No, I'm not. I'm fine.
No, you're there.
Whew. Okay, no problem. What Dark Tomb?
Yeah,
So he's saving and quitting to basically warp back to the entrance and leave without having to go all the way back. That combined with death warping are going to be a pretty common theme to cut out a lot of backtracking. We'll see that quite a lot.
There's one of many manual pages that you will see for a split second and never
Pick
again.
up the page up there?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. Maybe the stream just lagged.
So
I just
coming up
decided
next,
I didn't need that one.
coming next, we're gonna head over to West Garden, which is you're supposed to navigate through the entirety of Dark Tomb to get to West Garden, but Dark Tomb is slow and dark, so we're gonna go here. We picked up this effigy from before, and we can use it to interrupt a grapple and just kind of drop directly down here, skipping Lower Dark Tomb and hitting West Garden super fast.
We also picked up a fairy there.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones we spawned in the first minute of the run, so you can see how convenient that is. That it's just there waiting for us. We don't have to waste time for it to spawn in.
There are 20 fairies total in the game. We only need 10 of them because 10 of them unlocks a page for the manual. So a lot of the routing for this category kind of went into figuring out which fairies are A, the easiest, as in they have the easiest codes to type in, and B, are on the route. So there's a lot of fairies that, luckily, most of the ones we pick up are just directly on the route.
That crocodile's named Terry. Everyone
Yes.
say goodbye to Terry.
Yep, that is Terry. Terry's our friend. He likes to swim, even though he's not very good at it. So
He's been taking swimming lessons, but they don't pay off in true ending either. So
Oh, he's
Yeah.
terrible at it?
yeah,
yeah.
Hey.
sadly.
when we came into West Garden, we actually opened a secret door and picked up a sword. That's not the intended location to pick up the sword, but the developers were nice enough to put it there for speedrunners. So we take that sword instead of having to go out of our way to get the intended sword. You'll see he threw that ice bomb in such a way that it froze the enemy from below. And there's an interesting property with frozen enemies where if you freeze them, you will get pulled towards them. So we froze that enemy from below and pulled ourselves up to basically skip about 50% of this area.
This part is scary.
This is
Yes.
one of the scarier parts, especially with managing magic here. But we have the Ice Dagger, and there is a hidden tech in the game where if you shoot the Fire Wand and Ice Dagger at the same time, you get a ranged frozen projectile. So we're doing that to freeze that crocodile, knock him off the ledge, clip down there early. This is, we picked up a page. It's kind of hard to see what we were doing back there, and then death warping out. But that page we're supposed to get super late. You're supposed to get the Hero's Laurels to even make it over there, which are one of the last major items to get and are intended to be very late game. Speaking of them, that's where we're headed next.
Yeah, this is, I'd say it escalates. There's like 3 major areas that the run can get a little scary. We've passed the first. We're entering the second and third very quickly thereafter.
There's a lot of scary parts front-loaded into the first 10 minutes of this run.
Yeah, so he's picking up a couple items here. We're picking up some blueberries that will restore our magic when we run low, and he's picking up another trinket card, kind of like the orange pill ring. This one is a glass cannon item that when we equip it, it will put us at 1 HP, and our sword will do fire damage. We don't really use it for the fire damage, we just use it to set ourselves to 1 HP to make a lot of death warps easier. That's the main reason that we pick it up. We're coming into this cave to get another fairy, and we're going to make our way to the cemetery and then into the cathedral, which the cathedral is intended to be a really late game area. You're not really supposed to get there until well beyond the second half of the game, but because we are speedrunners, we are going to do some sequence break shenanigans to get in there very early.
When I first joined the speedrunning community, this is the first trick I tried, because it's like the first thing you want to do. Like, can I get these early? Yes, you can. And in fact, it was sort of known, intentional, question mark.
From my understanding, is like a lot of quote-unquote unintended tricks were like found in testing, and the developers are cool people. It's Power Audio, it's Andrew Schultes. They're really like friends with the speedrunning community and part of the speedrunning community, and so when they found things that they didn't think would impact a casual play, they just kind of left it in, and kind of when we clip in here, you'll hear a little jingle that's kind of a, yep, we knew about this, but you still got to do it.
We actually have
Okay, let's go.
We actually have a $100 donation from Andrew Schultes that says, "It's past my bedtime, but had to help out. An important cause and a great community. Good luck, Rad."
Oh, that's excellent. Thank you, Andrew.
Really could not have asked for better developers or support for this game.
We also have a $26 donation from Terry that says, "I know I'm about to get dropped into the water again, but that's okay. Good luck to Rad on his true ending run."
Thank you, Terry.
Terry, I hope your well wishes will protect us from the fairies, because this is really where RNG ramps up a little bit.
Yeah, this is a spooky wave just due to a couple of changes in the game, but there's basically 20 fairies that are just trying to murder us, and our goal is to not get murdered. We do want to get hit twice to be at critical health, but not 3 times, because that's death. And that is what Rad has just done.
That is very scary.
All right, let's
We
let's
had
hope I can clear
conversations
this
for like
wave.
an hour about what we would do if if that went wrong. So thankfully we survived.
We'd mentioned the orange power ring before. It does exactly double damage if you're at critical health. And so we're going to be doing this entire gauntlet at critical health to make it faster. It's spooky, it's scary, it's fragile, but it's fast.
It's fragile, but it's like you do double damage, so you don't have to worry so much about being able to take enemies down fast. You just have to have a pretty good familiarity with the spawns. Yeah.
Yeah, all of the enemy spawns are on like a timer and a cycle, and they always spawn in the same spot. So once after doing this tens of times, you get basically just a memory mapping of where everything spawns. So we have 6 waves of enemies to take down, and it's going to give us the Hyper Dash, or the Hero's Laurels, which is basically just a movement item that lets us kind of zoop around the entire world pretty quickly. It's going to be very handy for movement, and also it's required for a lot of the pages that we have to get later on.
Here's a classic example of it being on a timer. The 2 knights that spawn in this wave are spaced out to be almost fair, but because we're doing so much damage, we kind of just had that 10 seconds of just waiting around for them.
I feel like I should read this out because it's tied to something, but we have a $10 donation from Zillow that says, Shockwave said he'd take a letter out for $10. I'm not to blame here. And then we have a $100 donation from Glacia that just says TUNIC, like tunic without the I.
Oh, I didn't switch back.
The classic game TUNIC.
Ooh.
Everybody's favorite.
Nobody saw that. Nobody saw that.
I did, but it's okay.
It didn't kill you, it made you stronger.
My last berry, though.
You don't need magic.
I mean,
you don't need magic.
I need magic for the last skeleton.
I mean, you don't need the... You should.
We'll make it work. We'll make it work.
I mean, if anything, you've made it past the worst of it, so if you have to save somewhere else, it's...
Alright, what's coming up next? Remind me. We respawn at the overworld so often that like most of the latter game splits start and feel exactly the same. I'm very guilty of just like heading off in a direction, like I'm gonna do beach cleanup, and then, oh wait, no, I was supposed to go somewhere else, so.
Yeah, so after this wave, we're gonna get the reward for clearing all 6 waves, which is the Hero's Laurels. It's this pretty little pink wreath, which will go great on our pink fox, that replaces our roll with a dash, which can go over ledges and is simultaneously very fast and very slow when you dash into a wall. But we're going to take that newfound ability and go directly to Siege Engine, which is one of the 3 major bosses that we need to fight in this run.
So we're going to intentionally damage ourselves down on these slimes to put us in that peril state to do the double damage on the upcoming boss. There also is a code we have to type in here for a fairy, so we kind of have to like take damage, hopefully don't die from them, kill them, type in the code.
Now, are these codes that you collect in the game itself, or was this like an ARG, something outside of the game that you had to participate in?
They're all in the manual, so spoilers, they are basically codes you discover either in the manual or with overworld hints. I don't know if I should spoil how that code specifically is found, but
they're intended game mechanics.
Yeah.
But they are
basically
always
like
the same. They're not randomized.
Yeah. So we have one coming up here. A lot of them there are environmental clues that kind of give you a hint as to what order buttons you have to press. They're all directional in order, so he's typing them with like the arrow keys on his keyboard. But that is a thing that you should discover when you play the game.
Dash to the upper level is something I affectionately call the boop soup, which is a small little time save.
Boop-zooped.
We got
this next room is probably the sickest movement in the entire game.
He did pick up an item before he saves and quit. That is an item to upgrade our stamina. So in a little bit, we're going to upgrade our stamina just because the dash movement takes up a lot of stamina. So there's a lot of times we have to kind of wait for our stamina to recharge, and having as much stamina as we can, even if it's just a little bit extra, is going to help out. It's going to go a long way.
Yeah, this is the Siege Engine fight. It's one of 3 bosses. Having double damage and having a setup to get locked into its weak point makes it kind of a joke of a boss, but shout outs to Siege Engine for being a good sport here.
Siege Engine, loud death scene. Also use eye protection. Okay.
And this gives us one of the 3 Questigons that we are collecting for the end of the game. The first half of the game is kind of unlocking the world. The second half of the game is kind of collecting these to free the air. And then the third half of the game, we won't go to because it's slow.
Okay, beach cleanup. Beach cleanup,
Beach
right?
cleanup time.
Yes, okay.
Beach cleanup. So we're going to be picking up basically most of what we spawned in the first minute of the run when he was running around, typing codes all willy-nilly. There's a couple pages we have and a couple more fairies. So not too much going on.
I'm sad that I cannot leave the pages up for as long. There's amazing artwork on them, but they are pretty spoilery, so we'll just move right along. This is a very satisfying split. Because it's very low risk, and you get the fruits of your labor. Okay.
Yeah, this is one of the fairies that we're picking up with another invisible code. We're also going to grab some money just to fund the stamina upgrade later on. The way upgrades work in this game is you have to have the upgrade item, the offering, and then also just some money because ain't nothing for free.
Yeah, conveniently that chest gives us more than enough money that we need to do the upgrade. There's not a whole lot of like money chests that have that much money, so it's really convenient. So we're gonna do the money up. Wait, what happened?
Oh, dude, did it soft lock?
Oh no. Wait, really?
All right, I think we're gonna have to load a backup save.
Yeah, this is a thing that can sometimes happen if you
I
get
guess I'll
too
just
far
hit
away
no.
from.
Do I get my money back? Yeah. Okay. We're
Probably.
good.
Oh,
You'll
I
get
think
some
it worked.
money.
yep. So we got our stamina upgraded.
It'll give us just a little bit more for some of the longer dashing segments.
Yeah. So what happened there is there is a glitch that lets you steal unlimited stat upgrades for any stat. If you manage to get far away from the upgrade shrine and open the menu at the same time, normally you can only upgrade one stat at a time by one level, and the game plays like a really long cutscene that shows like the offering being given. If you're far away, the game doesn't know how to play the cutscene, so it doesn't close the upgrade menu, and it only checks that you have enough items and money for the one upgrade. So since the menu doesn't close, we can just spam A and get as many upgrades as we want. So now we have a lot of stamina, and we can just zoop around for the whole rest of the game.
And
not
we're
have
very
to worry
much
about
in
it.
depth.
Yeah. I wish.
If you look in the menu, like if you can spare the 2 seconds,
Yeah,
just like
we're-
look in the menu. We're
we
at
have
negative
95 stamina
800,000.
upgrade. Yeah.
Yeah. So it still subtracts your money, but it doesn't check that like if you even have enough. So I've also just seen that the title of the game is now Tuck.
We also had a $21 donation from Ian Keith going, fastest furt playing the classic game Unk. Nice.
The
Beautiful.
last marathon. It also ended
Artwork.
with the Tunic, like, you know? Very similar gameplay.
Just catching up real quick, we also have a $25 donation from Jeremiah that goes, good luck, Rad. We're all counting on you. In the words of a famous video game ocelot, you're pretty good. And Alu Bursto donates $10 and says, best of luck with the run, Radicoon. So glad to see you live in a charity. Oh, God, goodness. And also, absolutely amazing job with hosting SonicMega. Really need to learn from you. I'm just a guy who enjoys video games, so I'm just being my shameless geeky self here. That's all it is. I'm surrounded by wonderful people, and I'm glad to be here.
Just to go ahead and cut in and mention this, it's that was Quarry. That was the whole thing. We're done with Quarry, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quarry's a pretty scary area because it has a lot of like miasma that will drain your HP really fast. But we can once again abuse the wonderful ice grapple and just kind of drop ourselves to the end.
In fact, if you optimize movement through there with dashing, you actually will hit the door before it opens. So, like, there's almost like a maximum speed you can reach from moving in through Quarry because you'll just run into the door and have to wait anyway.
So that moves us into Ziggurat, which is a very like different themed place to the rest of the game, but it's a really cool area that we're just not going to spend any time in. This is honestly one of the scariest places for any percent, and True Ending is just like cathartic for it because that was a boss. Like the mid boss is up there on that platform. We don't care. We can dash past it, so it's just, it feels good to do this category after running True Ending, or after running any percent.
Yeah, basically any category that's not True Ending, this place is like a major reset point because there are back-to-back things that can go wrong. But since we have the hyper dash, we just dash past basically everything, and it's so satisfying.
Watch yourself on the edge of catwalks. You could fall.
Yeah, you might fall. Ooh, oh, you fell. It's fine though. That was Kevin clip.
Get up to start dashing again. This guy.
Yeah.
This fox is on the move.
That clip is affectionately known as Kevin clip because Kevin, the lead audio designer, alluded to it being possible in one of the developers reacts to speedrun videos, and then there was a mad dash to find it afterwards. But this was lower Ziggurat. We passed another like mini boss, and this is Boss Scavenger that we're going to fight completely fairly and legitimately.
Absolutely nothing wrong happening here. Nothing at all. I don't see anything wrong.
That's how I fight Scav.
Yeah. Alright, that was Boss Scavenger. Pretty easy, pretty...
Good RNG. I'll take it.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I waited a little late to orb there, but... Oh. What is it with? Okay, we're good.
So what we did there is we essentially just waited. We shot them with a fire rod outside of the arena so that it would start the fight. And we had them come to the edge towards us, and we were able to just pull her off into the death plane.
After this, we're heading into East Forest, which is actually the first place you're intended to go. We're still not going to do the intended thing. There's a bell tower you're supposed to ring there, something story, Bells of Awakening. I don't know, I didn't play Dark Souls. But we're just going to go here, grab a couple pages, and be on our way.
A couple more fairies, a couple more pages.
Rise, Tunic.
Yeah, this fairy I actually mixed into my route because I prefer getting it to sort of the normal route. We have to go to a secret location. Can you guys come over here, please? And there is normally a fairy there. But I don't like typing in the code for it. So I do this one instead. I think it looks pretty cool anyway, so...
Those hedgehogs kind of scared me. They got a little close.
Okay, so that fairy also is intended to be gotten at a different time of day, I guess you could say. But it for those of you that know the game and have acquired it, it is obtainable during the day as well.
Another one of those things that, you know, you don't find out about it until very late into the game, but since we know how to get it, we can get it at any point.
Yeah. A very key point, like pivotal point of this game is that it kind of scales based on player knowledge, which makes it a lot of fun to speedrun because you really can kind of do everything out of the gate as long as you know about it.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite parts about the game in general and also the speedrun. So we are back in Ruined Atoll. At the start of the run, we basically skipped all of the important stuff that was here. So we're going to take another little stroll through the atoll, and we have 4 of these pillars again to charge up. And this will lead us into the area with the last of the 3 bosses to get the final questagon, the hexagon keys, if you will.
Very last second pause right there. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah. This section has a lot of really cool ice grapple tech to get up these hills. There's like 4 kind of hills in each corner that house one of these pillars, and there's a lot of really cool grapple strats that we can do to get up and down. Also, having the hyper dash makes it a bit easier because there are some other shortcuts that we can take. For example, climbing up this ladder, we can kind of dash around this chest and skip a couple other ladders to get up here.
And we're good.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same as any percent, except, you know, it's cathartic, like Glacia said. Like, you can just fly through all of these areas that are normally very, very unforgiving.
Do we have time for a couple quick donations?
Of course.
Some Egrets donates another $25 and says, "Overshot? That just means every dollar is bonus content." Oh, well. We have a $15 donation from Carl Riffick with no comment. And we have a $10 anonymous donation that says, "Please remove another letter from the game name."
I love
Fuck. It's my favorite. So we're in library. We have a single fairy to pick up here. And then we have pages to pick up in the top floor. And then we will be going to the 3rd and final boss, which is the librarian. Or 3rd and final of the 3 like main story bosses.
Which we will also be fighting like fair terms.
Totally legit, completely fair.
Above the board.
We picked up a couple items earlier that kind of look like marketable plushies of the fox, which is kind of what they are. It's what we call them.
I did not hit the chair, let it be known.
Nice. Did you take the right staircase?
No, you get the fairy.
Yes.
Oh, you got the fairy. That's right. Okay, so we're gonna do a similar thing like we did with Boss Scavenger. We are gonna throw this lure and climb down the ladder, and the lure is gonna run off and say hi to Librarian and start the boss fight. And what happens here is that by climbing down the ladder, the kill plane for the boss spawns above our head. So the Librarian's gonna try to make his way down to us because we're so far down the ladder, but he's just gonna get obliterated.
Thankfully, death planes like count for the bosses too, so it is a fair fight. I wasn't lying.
And that death plane doesn't extend all the way down. It only extends like pretty short distance at the top of the ladder, so we can climb pretty far down and it'd be pretty safe.
I'm kind of sad. We're getting toward the end of the
It's
run.
gone by so
I
quick.
believe chat's current method is they said if we remove enough letters from the game name, we'll hit null, and then we'll hit an underflow error, and there will be like 65,000 games left to run. So they're trying to they're
Checks
trying
out
to
to
use
me.
programming to ensure the marathon doesn't end.
I hope we get U. Like C is a good game, but U is a classic.
Yeah.
We should have a donation incentive. We should have a last minute bid war.
Hangman Tunic.
Whichever we get more money for by the end of the run, we remove the losing letter.
So this is a
He's
staring
entering-
contest? Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna stare at the door for a few seconds, and what's actually happening is there is a large code that you're supposed to collect through secrets in the game.
It is 100 inputs long.
Yeah, so that was a really fast 100 inputs, Rad.
Yeah, this is kind of
I
like the
did
game's
it.
like climax puzzle, the ultimate code that you have to figure out. It is really fun, and it's like such a blast discovering it like in a normal playthrough. But it kind of sucks in the speedrun because if you mess up all 100, you have to start from the very beginning.
The reward is one of the final pages. But yeah, to key on to what Silent was saying.
That page said
Yeah.
Tunic, but I've never heard of that. Like,
It's the sequel to Uck.
Yeah.
To key on to what Silent was saying, like, this is a wonderful game to play casually. Like, I know we're showcasing this in a speedrun marathon, and we're kind of breaking the game as much as we can. Even at this point, if you haven't played Tunic, I strongly advocate to go play it. It's a very fun game. It's a very wholesome game made by wholesome people. And then speedrun it. Join us.
yeah. And even if you're watching the speedrun and haven't played the game, the speedrun does show a lot, but it doesn't even scratch the surface hardly. There is still so much more of the game that isn't shown, especially like even just flipping through the manual pages. We don't really even see them because we just close them so quickly. But it's a blast.
I can
I'm gonna
tell
try
this.
that again.
I can tell this is a kind of game where I'd be playing it like normally, and I'd just get to some point where the scenery and the music hits just the right way, and I just end up putting the controller down and just vibing out for like half an hour. Wake up
Can
from my nap
confirm.
and then pick it back up again.
The visuals and the audio, the music in this game are just top tier.
So it's worth calling out what Rad has been doing with saving and quitting there. He just skipped 46 seconds of cutscenes by saving and quitting on a frame perfect trick. So I don't want to downplay, even though like we're zooming past. Like,
Good job
that
getting
was
those.
clutch.
I did mess it up once, but I
Yeah.
actually forgot to hit B because I was so nervous. So
Yeah.
I like
We're coming
kind of messed it up.
The air, which is the final boss, so we're gonna...
Oh, wow. That
Interesting.
hedgehog had it
Unlucky.
out for me.
I guess the hedgehog is the final boss. Oh,
Nice purgatory.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
go
fine.
ahead and take that off when you can.
Did I forget?
Every time. Yeah.
Friends don't let friends wear glass cannons. Oh, no.
You might as well just... Yeah, you should be fine. Nice.
That was not going to work, but it did.
Yep.
So-
So we're heading to the air. If you've seen any percent, you'll know that this can be a pretty intense fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some time. Oh, okay.
We're gonna try to do another
Set up.
cutscene skip. I think that worked, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And time.
That was true
Yep.
ending.
That is the true ending.
We don't actually have to fight the air, because... Well, you do. The game tries to force you to fight the air the first time that you ever go, even if you have all of the pages. So you kind of didn't really see any of it, but typically you'd come in here, it would start the fight, and then we can save and quit. And it kind of tricks the game into thinking that it's the second time we've come, and it'll just give us the true ending. But we did kind of another save and quit cutscene skip to bypass that.
Yeah, that was an excellent
That
solid
was
run.
a really good run, yeah.
This is a
will
wonderful
take it.
40-minute story of a kid completing their first ever hooked on phonics book.
Look,
And
Mom,
the
I did
mom
my
is just
homework.
like, "You're in first grade, but reading at a third grade level. I'm so proud of you."
We all like brainstormed like what's happening in this cutscene. My contribution is that the fox is with the IRS, and the big fox is getting reported for tax evasion. It's open to interpretation, like any good game, any good story.
Well, since we picked the pink color schemes, Frazbright says trans fox helps other fox realize their true self.
There we go.
So good. I love that.
Yeah, it's a nice little attention to detail is that the air in this cutscene is the same color as the fox, but also some of the items we picked up, like the effigy and the lure, are also recolored to be whatever color you currently have equipped.
God, this music is so nice.
I dare you not to cry when you finish this game the first time.
I cried the first time I saw the run finish, so I'd be inconsolable if I were playing it myself.
This is customary.
All right, this was planned. We need to get everyone crying before the final send-off of the marathon. This was the game for that.
Well, before I say my closing thoughts, Glace, Silent, do you have anything you'd like to say?
I just want to give a shout out to like the Tunic speedrunning community as a whole. Like, it's a bunch of random people shoved in a room to play Funny Fox Fast game, and it somehow turned out to be this like super wholesome community. So there's too many names to name, but just shout outs to everyone there. I strongly encourage giving the speed game a try if just for cool people to hang out with.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better myself. If you are trying to speedrun this game, we have great community, always willing to help. So I guess shout outs to Andrew Schuldice for making this fantastic game and just being absolutely supportive of speedrunning. So but
I'll say shout out to me that when I realized that
shout out to
Dicey
Rad
is
for
the last part of his last name, Schuldice, Dicey. I'm
Oh, I
smart.
get it.
Yeah. Okay, well.
Shout outs to Punk and Less Than
Oh,
Three. And
all right, I'm cutting you off, Silent.
Yeah,
Hey,
do it.
so y'all seem pretty wholesome. Do you want to stick around for a second while we wrap up? That was
Sure.
an awesome run, by the way.
I mean, I have some thoughts, if you don't mind. I have
No, go for it.
a little bit of stuff typed up. I apologize if I stamp on anything, but
No, you're good.
okay. So, special shout outs obviously to Glacia and Silent for commentating, participating, teaching me, and just slaying these categories. They are like absolutely cracked at this game in like basically every category they play. So, thank you for teaching me what you like took all the time to learn. We've covered the community. Shout outs to the community. Sunny Muffin has a run at ESA on Friday of any percent. So if you're up at 4:30 a.m. Eastern, check that out. But also we have some new runners: Kavik, Evander, Corteth, Bees, King Samson. We're always welcoming new runners. We have a 3-minute category we just added to like help you get live split up and just kind of learn the movement of the game. So if you're interested, it's an easy onboarding step. Thanks to Dicey for a fantastic game. A unique experience in a world where that's like increasingly rare. And of course, thank you to Fastest First for having me and being such like a welcoming and supportive community. I'm personally really proud to be part of a community that's not afraid to fundraise on these like politically charged issues, and proud to be part of a community that's made up of so many people that have lived lives and truths that don't fit the mold, and proudly so. I think it's really important to remember that we represent many slices of underprivileged and marginalized communities, and that gives us a superpower of empathy to relate to other struggles and uplift them, even if we don't like are not directly impacted by them. I think the recent Supreme Court developments are just, you know, the latest casualties in a culture where we're kind of always dealing with, and it sucks a lot for a ton of people. But like, don't forget that no matter how bad things get, we have two really big tools we can always use to fight back. One is our ability to reach out and uplift those closest to us. Like, seriously, make a point tonight, tomorrow, this week, every week to just reach out to your friends, loved ones, family. Tell them that they matter to you, that you're there for them, that like no matter what happens, you know, you've got their back. Like, you can literally change someone's world by just taking that first step and reminding them that they matter to you without waiting for them to come to you first. And also, like, our ability to come together like this and fight for what we believe in. Seek out communities like this one, volunteer, invest in them, help others, you know, directly combat these forces that are trying to divide and depress us. Like, specifically, speedrunning has always been really fascinating to me. It's what got me into Twitch and everything, but the real magic in these communities is, like, the people you meet along the way. They're all willingly helpful, kind, resourceful. They're meaningful online friends that you will make through speedrunning. And if you're on the fence about speedrunning, if this all looks like super intimidating, do not be intimidated. There is definitely a game out there for you, or a category for you in some game. And as intimidating as they might seem, like, we are not superhuman. Like, this game just came out in March. I just started running it in April. It's just a matter of picking something that you like and can enjoy repeating, and putting in the time and dedication. And trust me, like, odds are when you join a community for these games, there will be people there to help you and guide you, and you'll probably make friends along the way too. So I highly recommend it. Seriously, thank you for this opportunity, for the amazing weekend marathon, even on short notice, for all the donations the entire weekend, and for being a community I can be so proud to be a part of. Thank you.
Damn, I think you just like took most of the words right out of my mouth. That was incredible, and we're so grateful to have you be a part of our community, Rad. Sean, if you're still around, I think there's a couple donations probably left to read, including one special donation that I put in right before I came in here.
Yeah, and after I get through those, do I have like a minute or two to say my own bits as well, or do we need to scoot along?
Yeah, you can take a minute. That's fine.
All right. Yes, so we have, I'm trying to see where I left off here. We had a $10 donation from Frasbright that said, Shockwave, you know what to do. We had a $33 donation from Sabertail that says, it's been really cool seeing this come together for a good cause on short notice. Thanks to everyone involved in making this happen, indeed. We had a $5 donation from Tempest Mask 1000 that says, I just wanted to thank everyone who made this event possible. TUNIC was a fine run to close things off, all with the runner, commentators, and of course, the host. In trying times like how we come together for this fight, I say keep up the good faith. Blue skies aren't always far away. Tempest out. And the donation that was just mentioned, Fastest Furs donated $238 to count for the sub and bit revenue from the event. Fastest Furs fight for abortion rights. Abortion care is health care, which is why you guys saw that jump up, some raising over $600 on the final 40 minutes to hit 7,580.69, which might still go up before we reach the end of this. But as Moonblaze had said, Radikun had a lot of very accurate things to say about this community and about this fight. And first of all, I can't thank everyone enough who came here for the finale, and especially to be honored with the opportunity to be a host for these final 3 games. But my own observation about a community, about a fandom like this is y'all are loud. And I mean that in the best way. You know, when things get extremely tough, when people's rights are being taken away, when their livelihoods are being challenged, when it seems like every day something else is going wrong, it can be very easy to get overwhelmed. And you're right to feel that way. And it can be so easy to just fall into despair and be like, well, what do we do? What are we supposed to do now? How do we respond to this? It's easy to just say that things are hard. It's way harder to say, I'm going to do something about this. And to just contribute money to a fund, to come together and put an impromptu 2-3 day long marathon that involves all of these people, all of these technicians, all of these engineers, all of these staff, all of these runners, all of these commentators, all under a common cause, if for no other reason than to say, pardon my French, fuck you, but we're not gonna take this sitting down, is incredible. And I can say nothing besides how grateful I am to be a part of such a passionate group, to be in an audience with so many people willing to work so hard and put the effort forward to show that it's not just comfort words, it's also a desire for people around us to be able to experience comfort and trust and have faith that the future will be better. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of that. And thank you guys for being as shameless, as passionate, as loud as you are, because sometimes it takes a lot of loud voices to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Sean. And yeah, this really was a very impromptu effort. The Fastest Furs marathons have always been really important about raising money for causes that we feel are overlooked or important. It's why we raise money for Trans Lifeline in the fall. It's why we raise money for the Organization for Autism Research in the spring. And when this happened, I and some of us on the leadership team, we were kind of having that conversation that I'm sure a lot of people were having when we saw that Roe versus Wade got overturned, and we just wanted to know what we could do about it. And I think despite a lot of obligations, I think several of us were at GDQ like the couple days after the Supreme Court announcement got announced. We felt like we had an opportunity to do something, and we didn't know how it was going to go. This whole marathon came together in 4 weeks, one of which was SGDQ. Shockwave and I and a lot of other people worked a lot at SGDQ. We were very involved in that event, and still, trying to make sure that we did a good job at this event as well. And just put on an event that we could be proud of. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who came and watched this weekend. Thank you to everybody who donated. The response from our community, from sort of allied communities that we partner with on a lot of things was absolutely incredible. We got so many good submissions. It was genuinely hard to get this marathon down to 36 hours that we ended up running it for. There were so many people that did not, unfortunately, get an opportunity to showcase their amazing talents for this cause. And we know that you will have opportunities again in the future, and we hope that you consider coming back for another Fastest Furs marathon. All the words that Rad said, all the words that Sean said, we believe all of those. Abortion care is health care. We do not have to sit idly by and watch these things happen, and I'm just so proud that we were able to take our anger and our frustration and turn that into positive action. And let's cut right to the chase. We raised $7,500. I had no idea what to set the marathon goal at for this weekend. We were only doing 36 hours. It was, we were running it on a skeleton crew. We didn't know what kind of support we would get. We set the marathon goal at $5,000. And again, I'm not even surprised anymore. Just speedrunners, the speedrunning community, our Fastest Furs community, the greater furry community, the greater Twitch community just all came together and absolutely blew it out of the water again. And make no mistake, that money will save someone's life. So thank you for that. This is always really hard for me, I'm sorry. I also just want to let everybody know that a little bit earlier today, we did open up submissions for Fall Fest 2022. So if you go to Oengus right now, you will see Fall Fest listed as a marathon that you can submit your runs for. It's going to be November 11th through 13th, and it is going to support Trans Lifeline again. We do hope that you will come back and watch, come back and support us, and if you're a speedrunner or a volunteer, come back and participate in the event again. There is nothing I have found in my life that is as satisfying as being a part of these events, and it takes so many people to put them on, and we couldn't do it without all of the help and support that we get. So go check it out. We've got another amazing logo from our new, I shouldn't say new, but sort of our resident graphic designer, Erakun, that you can see kind of like just right there at the top of the page. We'll also be putting all of this information on our Discord later on tonight. We'll be putting it on our Twitter later on tonight. So please help spread the word. We will open volunteer applications a little bit later. It's only speedrun applications right now, but you can go ahead and start putting those in if you have a game that you want to submit, or if you were feeling inspired to spread the word. We're a furry speedrunning community, but we welcome everybody, and together we can do great things like we did this weekend. So just thank you again. Hey, that looks really cool, Shock. Very nice. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. Please follow us on Twitter. Please join our Discord. We'd love to have you all year round, and we still have so many things to accomplish, and just like I said, make no mistake, you all accomplished something incredible this weekend. So on behalf of the whole leadership team, I just want to say thank you. And I think that's it for us. We're going to go ahead and raid someone who was running earlier on today, actually. We're going to go ahead and raid Von Ivan